Hey everyone, this is Michael with the general reading for July 2022 for Capricorn Sun, Moon, and Rising. I do hope that this video finds you well and in good spirits. Looks like there's been something going on though. We'll kind of dive into that in just a moment. Before we get too far into this reading, I just want to thank all of you who have supported this channel with your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. As always, it's with your support that I'm able to continue putting out these messages and doing this incredible work, so sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. You can find all of my links in the description box down below for distance Reiki sessions or personal readings if you feel like you need to work one-on-one with me. And yeah, you can also watch the videos for your moon and rising sign. There might be messages there for you as well. Anyways, Capricorn, the first card that I pulled for you was actually the Three of Swords. This was actually showing up in the past, so don't worry. I don't feel like anything is happening this month necessarily. It feels like whatever sort of heartache or ending occurred happened in the previous month. And if this isn't representing some sort of breakup or relationship ending, this could just represent someone's feelings being hurt. And potentially with the Three of Swords, it's like you kind of just gotta wait out the pain. Because it's kind of like the storm clouds in the background. It's like the weather will change. There's no rushing this healing. But to be honest with you, Capricorn, it feels like there was some sort of conflict. It feels like there was something here where maybe you felt betrayed or even just alone. I definitely get the sense of a conflict with the Five of Wands here. And kind of looking at the astrology, this could be happening with home or family. This could be happening with partners. And it feels like there could have been something that was said, some sort of truth that was dropped, especially around the 28th of June, when Neptune went retrograde. Some sort of veil was lifted. Someone said something, and it kind of resulted in some pain and some chaos. And then we have the Hermit and the Eight of Swords coming into this month. Some of you are feeling very stuck and very alone. I'm definitely getting this loneliness here. And it almost feels like you were working on something, you thought you were on the same page, you thought a relationship was going well, because with the Three of Wands as a challenge this month, it's like you're not really sure where all of this is going now. And maybe something that you were expecting to come back to you, you were expecting some sort of return or something to pay out or to be of benefit to you in some way. It didn't necessarily go that way. But at the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Swords, so I wonder if this is more of something being delayed rather than something just being canceled. Or something not happening anymore. We are in Cancer season. We are in the season of your opposite sign. So there could be a lot happening in partnerships or relationships right now. I feel like there's a lot here with the Eight of Swords and the Hermit card where it's like you're isolating yourself and keeping yourself stuck. You're not opening up. You're not meeting new people or talking to people who could help you. It's almost like with the Three of Swords and the Five of Wands here, it's like you dealt with this pain by fighting people off. You do have the Strength card in the future, though. And honestly, I feel like this is being able to express yourself in a very composed and put together way. It's about taming these emotions, risking vulnerability. And at the start of this month, we do have Mars entering Taurus and Mercury entering Cancer. Both of these are happening on July 5th, actually. And so communication really is important this month, specifically with Mercury and Cancer. And there might be a lot of emotions that need to be expressed, but it's like, you don't want to do that. You don't want to have a certain conversation. You don't want to talk about how your feelings were hurt, or maybe someone else's feelings were hurt and they don't want to talk to you about it. Speaking of communication, we have the Ace of Swords, which is about communication, new messages, new information. And again, kind of feels like there was a truth bomb or something that got said to you, or something that was exposed at the end of this month, or end of last month, I'm sorry. I'm recording in June, but it feels like at the end of June, when Neptune went retrograde, there was something that was revealed. Tell me more about this Three of Wands and the Strength card. What's coming? We have Justice, balance, setting things right. It's gonna take a lot of maturity and also humility in order to find balance. We do have Virgo energy, we do have Leo energy, we do have Libra energy. So kind of interesting that these are all signs that are next to each other. Maybe there's something that's happening for you at the end of summer, beginning of fall. Or there's something about this time period that's coming up this month. Show me clearly. The Fool. There could be some sort of new beginning or new chapter around this time. Tell me about the Hermit and the Eight of Swords. The Ace of Wands. Tell me about the Ace of Wands with the Hermit and the Eight of Swords. Show me clearly, please. I'm not reading reversals with this deck, but I did have the Ten of Cups show up in the reverse. Let me keep shuffling. It's almost like your idea of happiness and harmonious relationships and home, these are things that are kind of changing. Your idea of happiness is changing or has been injured in some way. We have the World. Yeah, something is changing. This is like opposite energy. This is so interesting. Hermit, Eight of Swords, and then the World. It's like you've become stuck inside of yourself. And you're looking for some sort of passion, or life has become dull and you've been so guarded off, you've pushed people away. But what you really need to do is open up to the world again. Open yourself up again. And I think that's what the Strength card is. Let's actually clarify. What is the Strength card? And Page of Wands with the Strength card. And not for nothing, Capricorn, we do have a full moon in your sign. And this is happening on July 13th. it's kind of a big one. Because it's joining Pluto in your sign as well. And this is days after the second Pluto return of the United States, so there really could be a lot of turbulence this month, especially if you live in the US. Something could be developing. But when I see Pluto and the full moon in your sign, it's like there's something very radically different about you. Something is changing in a very profound way. You're going through this major transformation, and maybe with the Hermit, it's like you're having this sort of epiphany by giving yourself space. You're realizing the ways you've held yourself back, the ways you've kept yourself stuck, the way you've imprisoned yourself in your life. You have the King of Wands, this Leo energy. We are coming into Leo season by the end of this month. The Sun enters Leo on the 22nd, and then we have the new moon in Leo on the 28th. And for you, Leo energy really is about facing your fears and again, transformation. This month is all about transformation. And you're finding this new spark. It feels like there's kind of this spiritual awakening or something that's happening, and maybe this is kind of riffing off of the last full moon we had in June, around the 14th, in the sign of Sagittarius. But with this Leo energy and with Neptune going retrograde at the end of June, there's a lot that's being revealed or being exposed. Secrets are being revealed. And it's like you can't go back. You can't go back anymore. And with the new moon in Leo, it's actually going to be harmonizing with Jupiter and Aries right before Jupiter goes retrograde. So there could be something about home and family and trying to find your roots. Maybe manifesting a home. But we have the Devil and the Queen of Pentacles. Both of these are your cards. That's actually very interesting. The Queen of Pentacles represents Capricorn. The Devil represents Saturn, your ruling planet. Why did these two come up here? You're becoming yourself. You're transforming into yourself. And I know with Saturn in your second house in Aquarius that there could be some financial concerns. You could be fearful. And again, like the Pluto return in the United States is definitely producing a lot of financial turbulence. And that's happening with Uranus in Taurus as well. I feel like you're going through a big shift, and there's a big shift in your passions with the Ace of Wands. And this actually makes a lot of sense because we have Mars and Uranus and the North Node all coming together at the sign of Taurus right at the end of this month. And for you, Taurus really does represent passion. It does represent your creativity, the things that light you up. Sometimes romance is also implicated with this as well. And it's almost like you're afraid to have fun again. You're afraid to do something frivolous. You're afraid of getting hurt again with the Three of Swords. And honestly, Capricorn, this really is a beautiful time for you to manifest relationships, specifically with Venus entering into Cancer on the 17th. And after the new moon we had in Cancer on June 28th. Here's this Cancer energy with the Queen of Cups. And the King of Cups, we have a pair. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. It feels like you want someone to take care of you with the Queen of Cups, without even knowing how to take care of yourself. Because in order for this pair to work, there has to be a lot of self-awareness. And it's like you're trying to get something out of a relationship that you don't even know how to define or how to ask for it or what it even is. But there is a pair on the table here. I feel like there is a relationship that's coming in. There's compatibility here. Or maybe you're in this relationship, but it's interesting how I drew these two with the king and the queen not even looking at each other. They're kind of back to back. It feels like they're not seeing eye to eye on something. They're not seeing each other. They're not meeting each other in the eye. It's almost like you're waiting for someone to prove you wrong. Everyone hurts me. These relationships only hurt. I only end up in this pain again. And it's like you're waiting for someone to be the exception and for someone to prove themselves to you without even giving them anything to work towards. And I think with the Strength card, it's like you need to be willing to be vulnerable. You need to be willing to sit with your emotions. Not just sit with them, share your emotions. And not lose yourself to them. And that's when we have this Ace of Cups. That's when we have this connection, this love, this intimacy. I mean, the cards are hearing this. There is this message of love. That's what I was asking about. We have the King of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. There is a relationship here. There is a mature and emotionally fulfilling relationship here, but you have to be willing to put in some of that. Intimacy just can't be given to you. A relationship can't just be given to you. You have to communicate. And maybe that's what you're realizing with the Hermit and the Eight of Swords. You're seeing the ways you've kept yourself imprisoned. You're seeing how, even though you're blindfolded and tied up, you had these swords around you. You had the ability to cut yourself free. And you're facing a lot of fears. And there is love here for you. There is connection. There's intimacy. But you have to be willing to cultivate this. You have to be willing to share this. Interesting how the Hermit and the Eight of Swords fell off the table when I said that. Coming out of this isolation, coming out of this defensive energy, opening up. So guarded, King of Swords. I feel like there's the potential for new and exciting energy at the end of this month on the 31st, but you have to be willing to be open to it. If this isn't talking about romance for you, although for many of you, I do feel like this is about your relationships. We are in your relationship season with Cancer season and then Venus in Cancer. A lot of this is about how you show up in relationships. and this kind of anxiety and this fear. God, I just keep pulling these cards for you. Let's try again. We had a 10 of Pentacles, but I don't think that was it. Ten of Wands, carrying all these things by yourself, carrying these burdens. You don't have to carry these burdens alone anymore. And if this isn't a partnership, like a romantic partnership, this could just be about you relating to people in general. And needing to open up more, needing to be more vulnerable. Not waiting for someone to prove themselves to you without even giving them a chance. And there's our Two of Cups. What I love about the Two of Cups is this lion head, this strength that we mentioned before. These two people are looking each other in the eye. And the lion reminds us of the strength it takes, the courage it takes to be vulnerable. Some of you are afraid to have a certain conversation. Some of you are afraid to try and speak up. Maybe there was a conversation you had with this person before. Maybe you're trying to revisit a conversation, or maybe you had a similar conversation with a different person and it ended something. And so you're afraid to have this conversation again. But openness is key, Capricorn. And there is love here, that there is this connection here. There's something beautiful here, whether this is platonic love, whether this is familial love, whether this is romantic love, or even self-love. But this actually does feel more like with another person. But that self-love is you feeling like you deserve the love of another person. And now I'm getting a sense of completion. I feel like I pulled half the deck for you, Capricorn. I hope this was helpful. I hope you were able to follow along here. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section down below how this is landing, what you've been holding back from other people, or if that's resonating with you. Again, you can check out the other videos for your moon or rising sign. All of my links are in the description box down below, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, Capricorn, and have a happy and safe July.